This is how mum Kerry Ann now spends most of her days. Desperately filling out application forms. Desperately hoping a specialist school in Suffolk will accept her autistic son James. So far she's tried 8, but all of them have come back and said they can't meet his needs.
James is working at a year 1 level. He should be at year 6. Each week that passes without any education makes him further and further behind. I'm not stupid enough to think that this, he's going to be able to sit GCSEs, but we'll never know because his education has been interrupted throughout his life.
10-year-old James hasn't stepped foot inside a classroom since July. While his little sister is at school in Lowestoft, he plays video games and builds Lego.
There is no light at the end of the tunnel. There's not even a little glistening that we can hold on to. It's heartbreaking when you've got a child that says, when can I go to school? And he wants to be in school, and I haven't got those answers for him. And there's been times where, as a family, we've sat in tears. We just feel helpless.
The National Autistic Society says James's experience is a far too common one. Today it published its school report, based on the experiences of more than 4,000 parents, carers and autistic children. 44% of those parents said their child's special educational needs were not being met. More than half had waited at least a year to get the help they needed. And lockdown had made it even harder. 44% of children fell behind with their schoolwork. The government says it is investing in special educational needs, having announced £2.6 billion in the budget last month. It'll be used to fund extra school places like those at this new school near Cambridge. The Cavendish School is the county's first state-maintained school for autistic pupils. It took 5 years for the school to open, during which time the number of autistic children in Cambridge had doubled. Every day, Kerry Ann prays her son will also be given a fresh start, but keeping the faith is proving hard.
Do you ever feel like giving up?
Yes, I do. I break down regularly. You just want it all to go away. You just want as normal a life as possible, and that's really difficult, I find it really frustrating, and I'm so angry about it because I manage him, so why cannot a school not manage him?
That's a question Kerry Ann and other mums will keep on asking, but until they get the answers they want, their children will continue to be left behind. Andy Ward, ITV News, Lowestoft.
I always go in through number 13 because I think it's lucky.
Caroline Palmer has had a season ticket at Carrow Road since the 90s. During that time, she says she's mostly been made to feel welcome. But there have been isolated incidents, but that's been far from the case.
I remember being at Peterborough for an away game, obviously, and someone suggested to me that I shouldn't be there, that it wasn't for the likes of me, and that perhaps I should go down to the stand with the little ones there. It's really easy for any sort of comment, sexist, racist, to be dismissed as banter. I wasn't. I was just being funny. It depends on context, but I don't think it's a good enough excuse.
And Caroline's experience is far from unique. A recent survey from the Canaries Trust supporters group found that 1 in 5 female fans had encountered some form of sexism at games. Online, it's a problem as well.
I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up.
This powerful video was only posted on Twitter last weekend, but has already had more than 1 million views. The Her Game Too campaign are aiming to change attitudes towards women in sport. One of the group's founder members is Amy Clement from Northamptonshire. These are just a few examples of the hateful comments she's received on social media, and she says the abuse has gone too far.
When it becomes regular or it's a lot all at once, that's when I think it starts to bother you. And, I don't want to use the word upset, but I think just pure frustration, really, that I was being made to feel like my opinion wasn't valid on something that I'm really passionate about. That's really hard to deal with.
For social media companies and clubs alike, stamping out sexism remains a huge challenge. Well, hopefully fans will be returning here next season. And Norwich City say they're committed to making everyone feel welcome. Now, as part of that pledge, they're hoping to set up a new hotline to report sexism, as well as a new safe area in the stadium for anyone who needs it. And that's music to the ears of people like Caroline, who says that although work still needs to be done, things are looking up.
I remember back in the early 90s talking about football to a bloke. He said, "You're a woman, you know about football." And he was astonished. And I don't think that would be the case now. I think things have changed a lot.
Like all football fans, Caroline has missed watching the team and the sport that she loves. A sport that should be for everyone, no matter what gender you are. Andy Ward, ITV News, Norwich. It's a view that Gordon Carter just can't get enough of. For 70 years he's been making the short trip from his home to Little Oakley FC's ground at the bottom of his garden. But that view has just become even more special. Gordon's just had a stand named after him as a thank you for his incredible support down the years.
I still pinch myself and I can see it from my kitchen window and I still pinch myself. I never thought this would happen to me. Never in a million years. I'm just over the moon.
Afternoon, Gordon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, Michael. Yeah.
I'm very well, thanks.
When the club were contemplating who to name their new stand after, there really was only one person who fitted the bill. Gordon has done pretty much every job going here, and even had a short spell as manager. But it's his backing from the stand, that makes him truly unique. Come rain or shine, he's here every home game to back the team. And at the grand old age of 87, he's not planning to stop anytime soon.
Legend is an overused word in football especially, but he's a true local legend and he's given everything to the football club over the last 70 years together with his family, and we're very pleased and privileged to have him.
That's a sentiment Gordon's family certainly agree with, and they say no one deserves this recognition more than him. That stand is now named after your granddad. How's that make you feel?
So proud. Oh, yeah, really proud. I mean, yeah, it's just great, isn't it?
He deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's been up every game for how many years?
70.
70 years.
Gordon says he's never even considered supporting another club through those 70 years. Little Oakley is a part of him, he says, and now he'll always be a part of them as well.
If I ever forget my name, I've only got to look out the kitchen window and I'll see it there.
But rest assured, thanks to this lasting and well-deserved tribute, there's no chance anyone here will ever forget Gordon's name. Yes, welcome to Birmingham, where the excitement is really building ahead of the start of the Commonwealth Games. And what an occasion it promises to be. As you can see behind me, there is already a sea of colour in the city centre, and thousands of spectators have been arriving today, ready for the start of the action tomorrow. Before that, though, we've got the opening ceremony to look forward to tonight. That kicks off at 8 p.m. And if you're a fan of Duran Duran, well, you're in luck because they're performing. And although the Queen can't make it, Prince Charles will be there to give it the royal seal of approval. So plenty to look forward to, as my colleague Nick Smith has been finding out.
Andy, not long to go. When can we expect to see our athletes pick up some medals?
Well, fingers crossed it will be very soon. More than 400 athletes are competing for Team England at these games, including several from our region. Now, one of the most high-profile members of that Team England squad is, of course, Dame Laura Kenny from Hertfordshire. Now, she'll be hoping to lead England to glory in the women's team pursuit final tomorrow afternoon. The track cycling is actually taking place in London at one of the velodromes there. No Max Whitlock at these games, but another gymnast from our part of the world will be involved. Jake Jarman from Peterborough is part of the England team, hoping to defend the men's team gymnastics title from 4 years ago. And that's also what Joe Harton from Harlow will be hoping to do in the netball. England's defence starts tomorrow against Trinidad and Tobago. The final is a week on Sunday. So loads of opportunities for our athletes to bring home loads of medals. Let's just hope it's those gold shiny ones, eh?
Wouldn't that be lovely? Thanks, Andy.